town. We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers to meet in Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, meeting Venus. Together we embark.
Good morning. Today I'm very happy to welcome Rachel Annette Helson. She's an actress and writer-director. Hi, Rachel. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. First, I want to ask you a little bit about your acting career before we discuss your new film. Tell me a little bit about your studies and interest into acting. I believe you are a New Yorker, right?
I am a New Yorker. Yeah, I started acting when I was really young. I was probably 6 when I caught the theater bug, and then I went to NYU for college, and then I started doing guest stars on television shows. So I did an episode of Law and Order. I did The Nick that was directed by Steven Soderberg, and then most recently I worked with Steven Soderberg again on his HBO, or I guess it's Max now. I'm sorry, Max miniseries Full Circle that was written by Ed Solomon. And it was a really terrific part, and I was so lucky to play opposite Timothy Oliphant and Cissy Beats and Claire Danes. And if anyone is interested, they could go check it out on Max on the website.
Yeah, Steven Soderbergh is a very interesting director, especially his early, independent film, and I believe The Underneath, if I remember quite well, and he has this noir feeling to his film. Do you think you've been influenced when you became a filmmaker by his style?
Oh, very much so. I can tell you
Really?
absolutely. Yes, 100%. Actually, being on the set of The Nick was a very life-changing experience for me, because I love the way that he's very immersive in the way he films his stuff. So when I was on The Nick, they built this set on a soundstage, and he operates the camera. And he also edits his own work. So he's very involved. They had put hidden mics around the room. They shut the door to the set, and it was just me and the other actor and Steven. And he was really a huge inspiration for me in wanting to become a filmmaker, and my kind of approach to filmmaking, which is very actor centric, because, like, as you know, I come from an acting background. So to me, the performance is so important, and it's not just, a thing, it's the thing. And if I can kind of capture that on film, that's very much my kind of style. I also think he's just the gold standard for how he treats people on set. He's a very, very generous man, and treats everyone with respect. So I will say he's a huge influence on my filmmaking career, not only in terms of the way I like to run my sets, but also the style of work that I do. I also have a penchant for crime dramas, which I would say he does as well.
Great. Before we talk about your filmmaking as well, I've seen that you worked on Broadway as a producer, and you got a Tony Award, right?
I was nominated for a Tony Award. I was nominated. I wish I won. I really loved that project. It was a play called Reasons to Be Pretty by Neil LaBute. I actually was in college when I had the opportunity to produce on Broadway. I produced 2 shows while I was at school at NYU. And I come from a family where they're all business people, and I was kind of the black sheep of the family because I wanted to be an artist, but we always talked business around the dinner table. So I kind of was exposed to that when I was a young child, and had a proclivity towards it, I'm going to say. And I was producing these benefits that were like philanthropic benefits, and some commercial Broadway producers read an article about me and reached out and said, I think you might be really good at this. Would you like to come and work on these commercial theater productions. So the first one I got to do was a musical called Title of Show, and that was really the name of it, Title of Show. Everyone thinks I've messed it up when I write it down, but I didn't. And at the same time, I was working as an intern at Bernie Telsey Casting, and he has a small theater downtown. And he was producing Reasons to Be Pretty off-Broadway, and they were about to transfer it. He invited me to see it off-Broadway, and then invited me to become a producer on it for the transfer. And I think I was only 19 at the time, but so I was very lucky to have those opportunities when I was very young, and to be around the people that I was able to be around at that time. But you know, I was a theater nerd growing up, so to be able to work on Broadway, it was just a dream come true. And then we were nominated for a Tony Award. The nominations were listed the day before I graduated from NYU, and I was 20 years old. So I'm actually technically the youngest Tony-nominated producer in Broadway history, which I just feel very, very humble and lucky to have had that opportunity.
Great. And right now, tell me how what were your first step into becoming a filmmaker, and did you direct other films before Good Daughter?
I did. So I started with another short film called Hatched back in 2018, I'm gonna say, and it was a lovely little short, and I kind of immediately, as soon as I got on set and started directing, I felt like I had finally found my real place in the industry. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my career. And I made that short film. It played at festivals. It played at Holly Shorts, which is where we debuted Good Daughter. And then I sent that to all the producers that I could possibly know or find. And one of them responded back and took a general meeting with me, and then I kept making films, and eventually that producer that connected with me gave me the first opportunity to direct a feature film, and that feature film played on television. I got another feature film, and now I've directed 4 feature films. The last one was an adaptation of the best-selling romance novel The Air He Breathes by Brittany Cherry. I'm very proud of it. It's on Passionflix right now, which is Tosca Musk's streaming service. It's available on Amazon, and it's like I love that story. I love Brittany. She wrote such a beautiful book, and I was so grateful to be entrusted to take that and adapt it to screen. And so that stars Ryan Carnes and Kelsey Stranahan, and you can see it now. It's out now. And then of course Good Daughter, and Good Daughter was really a passion project because I met with the writer Jesse Harris, who was a writer on Jessica Jones, the television show.
Yes.
And we kind of got to talking, and we were saying how much we love stories about characters that kind of live in these very morally gray areas, that blur the lines between good and bad. And he sent me the log line for Good Daughter, which was a small-time con artist rips off elderly dementia patients by pretending to be their daughter until the con catches up with her. And it was like a full body, I have to make this movie. And we sent, an outline for the script back and forth, and he sent me the script for the short film, and I loved it immediately. And we went into production the next month, and it's starring Samantha Sloyan, who I think gives a fantastic performance in this short film. And we're currently Oscar qualified. We're in contention for the 2025 Best Live Action Short. So we're currently in For Your Consideration campaign season right now. And we, after the short film, we really felt like, hey, there's more story here. And we've developed that further into a feature film script, which we've just now are like, wow, this is ready to go. So Good Daughter is a story that will be with me for a long while, and I love it. So I'm happy for that.
Yes, I saw this morning the movie again, and I felt that it could be easily adapted into a feature-length film. What do you think?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. It didn't initially start we didn't intend for it to be a feature or a proof of concept for a feature when we were making the short film. We really just wanted to make a short film. But we felt like that the character was so rich, and that there was so much more to explore with the character. And so in the process of the past year, we've developed that into the feature. And it's wonderful spending more time with this character, diving deeper into her motivations, why she's doing what she's doing, which, you know, I'll spoil it for the audience. She is pawning valuables and stealing money from Alzheimer's patients in order to pay for her own mother's hospice care, and her mother has dementia. So that is really, you know, her need to pay for this care is really a jumping off point in the futures, or in the feature version, because we go on that ride with her. She does not start out as a career criminal. She's someone that is desperate and driven to be able to take care of someone that she loves. So that's kind of where the feature is going.
Yes, you know, the film touches a lot of you know, everyday subject. Everybody, you know, can face a parent or a relative, you know, suffering from dementia or Alzheimer. Right now, it's all in the news because, as well, a lot of artists and celebrities, you know, they face the same way. Actually, in the news right now is Bruce Willis, as might you know, and. I think as well for the character that Samantha Sloyan playing, it is as well, I mean, reflecting how, you know, the need for money can drive people to do desperate and criminal things, although they are not criminal in the first place, you know. So tell me a little bit, do you think your film and similar works, you know, can shed the light on these subjects, and as well maybe drive the people in healthcare and in the government as well to give more support to this kind of illness? Especially, I think it is escalating right now in the United States.
You know, both of my grandmothers passed away from Alzheimer's.
Really?
One of them was actually in one of these care facilities while we were making this movie. And Jesse, the writer, his life has also been touched by Alzheimer's. He's had relatives that have passed away. I can't think of anyone that I know whose life has not been impacted by Alzheimer's in some way. It seems rampant. And one of the things that the film, you know, one of the reasons she's able to achieve this, to steal from these people, is because their families have stopped coming to see them and stopped coming to visit them. And it's something that I saw in these elder care facilities where there were a lot of lonely people. And it's so sad to go and watch someone who you love not be themselves anymore. So I understand it, but I also hope that the film inspires people to go and spend time with people that they love, because, you know, time is precious. And absolutely, I sincerely hope that there are treatments that help Alzheimer's and help to cure Alzheimer's. I mean, wouldn't that be wonderful in the upcoming years? And I know how powerful stories are, so I hope that I can be a small part of that.
Yes. Regarding right now the filmmaking industry between shorts and long films, I think there is a shift not only in the production but also in the content. I mean, we see like a very, I don't want to use the strong female character, but let's say three-dimensional characters, and also not only women, they are sidekicks or models or you know, stuff like that in the movie, like, or love interest in the movie. Tell me, do you feel right now there is an industry shift right now in depicting and creating women characters in films?
I do, and I'm thrilled by it, honestly. And I hope to be a part of that change as well, because I come from an acting background. I think there was I hope that I don't mess this quote up, but there was a quote in First Wives Club, the movie, where Goldie Hawn's character says that there are 3 stages to an actress's career. You're either a babe, a district attorney, or a grandma. And I feel like, you know, I feel that changing in the industry. I feel like there are richer roles for older actresses. You know, I personally know that I love stories about women that are over the age of 40. Not that I don't love the young ones too, but I just feel like we get better and more interesting with age, people in general.
Sure.
And so there's so much more that I feel hasn't been explored by storytellers. And you know, females are over half the population. We want to see ourselves on screen. And I am very appreciative of the fact that more of those projects are getting greenlit. And I do think that, you know, there's been a shift to hire more female directors and to let female directors tell their own stories. And I do think that that's kind of where our focus tends to be. And
Yes.
so hopefully that we'll see even more of that in the future, and have more compelling stories that have female leads.
For sure. Right now, I see the film has been in several festivals, you know, and it's an Oscar, hopefully Oscar contending for nomination and so on. And tell me, according to you, and you've been doing directing short films, what kind of opportunities short films can bring to a filmmaker like yourself? And also, I've seen that I want to mention that Good Daughter can people can see it on YouTube free of charge on Omuleto. So tell me a little bit about this platform. What do they provide for filmmakers as well?
Well, I think Omuleto is a fantastic platform. This is my first short film on Omuleto, but I produced a short film called M that also played on Omuleto. It's my husband's short film, and he produced Good Daughter as well. But what they really provide is an audience for they have I think they have something like 3 million subscribers, and it's all these people from across the world that love short films. And being able to be placed on their channel just provides a way for people to see your film, which is always what filmmakers want, because, you know, you make these things, but being able to get them out into the world is really a challenge. And to be able to get the kind of attention that, you know, you feel your film deserves, because everyone's worked really hard on it. So Omuleto really provides a platform for you to be able to do that, and for people to be able to see your work. Yes, anyone can go to Omuleto and see Good Daughter right now, free of charge. It's on there for your consideration playlist, and just if you search Good Daughter, it will be up there. But in terms of what, you know, short films can provide to filmmakers, for me, obviously this is a pipeline to a feature. It didn't start that way, but it's also its own art form, and it's been a really fantastic showcase for me to tell a story that I feel like is truly in my voice as a filmmaker. Because when you're making a feature, you're making wonderful, you know, stories that are probably going to be produced by other people. But Good Daughter was just mine. Good Daughter was produced by me and my husband. So it's everything that you see on screen was my choice, my vision. All the casting decisions were mine, and that feels really good to have ownership of something, of a piece of art.
Yes, and I asked you as well about what kind of a short film can bring to the career of a filmmaker right now, according to your experience.
I would say that it's a great calling card for the kinds of films that you want to be making and the kind of artists that you want to be. Also, in terms of if you're looking to make a feature out of it, having made something, a proof of concept in the form of a short film, can be incredibly helpful in getting people to read the feature version of your film, or getting to finance the feature of your film, or feature version of your film. Because I think that it's much easier for someone to click on a 20-minute short film than it is to start opening and reading a script and imagining what your vision might be. They can see it. They can see a version of that, even if it's in a smaller format. But so I think that just logistically, those two things are very helpful. It's also just, you know, you're able to show your work to people that can potentially hire you for future projects, and you're able to, you know, say, this is me, this is what I've got, and this is how what I would bring to your project.
Yes. Right now, because we're approaching Thanksgiving and Christmas, do you have personal or professional wishes for yourself or your husband, Josh, in the upcoming period?
Oh, I mean, I always have, you know, good health is I think one of the most personal.
For sure.
Family time. I feel very fortunate to be able to see my family very often. So those are my personal wishes, is for, you know, health and happiness in the upcoming year, as I wished for you and your family as well. And then professionally, I'm so lucky to be able to make my living as a director and to be able to tell stories and pay my rent directing. That's like a huge thing. And my professional goals are that I would be able to continue to do that in 2025 and to be able to expand that, and I would love to work in episodic television. That's really one of my big goals. So that's my professional wish for this upcoming season.
Yes, and I hope you invite us to the red carpet to the feature version of.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Rachel, I want to thank you very much for the live this morning. I wish you all the best for the promotion and the publicity for the film, and good luck with the festival circulation, and also for the Oscar nominations, and best of luck in the adaptation for your next projects.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me and for spotlighting our film. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you too, and happy holidays.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.